Okay, here we go. Modified IRR is a better indicator of what the return might truly be when you're looking at this, because the IRR looks at the rate of return embedded within the cash flow coming back. It doesn't take into consideration the true rate of return at zero. So all that cash flow adds and inflates the rate of return that's showed by the internal rate of return. The modified IRR allows you to put in or specify the reinvestment rate, where the IRR imagines that whatever the cash flow is returning, that is going to be the rate of return that you would receive on the money coming back in. Let's look at it. It might make a little more sense. So here we go. Here's your here's the formula. It's the same scenario. If it's higher than the required rate of return, you would accept it. If it's lower, you would reject it. But here we have 6,000 outlay, and then you have 2,000, 3,000, and 4,000. So instead of, okay, and I guess I should slow down a bit. So step one is to determine the present value of that $6,000. Well, it's already at present, so it's $6,000. Now you need to determine the terminal value of the project's free cash flows. Instead of finding the present value back, we're going to take them to future value. And we're going to designate what that rate of return is going to be. So now, instead of bringing it back to present, we're going future, and that 2,000 is worth 2,400, 3,000, 3,300, and 4,000 is worth 4,000. So that whole project in the future, if we take a future value and a terminal value, is worth 97.20. Now, when you compare that, okay, you got to determine the discount rate that equates the present value of the terminal value now. And the present value of that then becomes 17.446%. And that's greater than the accepted rate, which was 10%, so you'd accept it. And all of that goes, wow. We have a handy-dandy MIRR in Excel that will show you that. So you're going to put in the values, a simple range, okay? And you're going to plug in K as your required return of rate. So you're going to do 10% here and 10% there. And that should return the MIRR. I know that was a little bit confusing, but this brings that return rate back down to it reflects it better than when you just use the IRR.